We're going to blow your mind a little bit and remind you that all tours and activities have inbuilt urgency and scarcity. We just have to do a better job of calling it out to our potential customers. Hi there, Kelsey Tony here from Guest Focus, and welcome back on how to create tour descriptions that sell. Did you know that there are 12 essential items to every tour description page? Well, you do now. In this video, we're going to be talking about two more essential items. One is the at a glance section of your tour page. The other are reasons to act now. Let's dive in. Think of the at a glance section as a quick snapshot of your tour, the essential tour details that we want a customer to know about this product or service. Too often, this very fundamental information is buried in paragraphs of text, or someone has to scroll to 6 or 7 different locations just to figure out what type of offering is on this page. If you confuse, you lose. That's why your at a glance section needs to be very close to the top of your page. This section should appear just below your media, and it should be clear, it should be concise, and to the point. We're talking bullets, not long sentences. So what sort of information do we want to include in this section? Things like the price of your tour or activity. And if you have really complicated pricing, you can simply say something like starting at, and then indicate your lowest price. Departure times, if relevant. The duration of the tour is very important. Is this a half-day tour? Is this a couple-hour tour? Is this a multi-day tour? Your meeting point. Where does the tour start? And if it ends in a different place, you could also include that as well. Here, 100%, you want to include a clickable link to a Google Maps pin, a location that if somebody's on their mobile phone, they can click the meeting point and it will open up a Maps app. What about the group size or type of tour? This type of information is rarely shared, but is so crucial to whether or not someone will ultimately want to book or not. Is this a private tour? Is this a public tour? Is this, a vehicle tour up to 50 passengers or just 15 passenger? The group size and type of tour makes a big difference. Things that are included or not included are important to list in here, including what to bring as well as highlights. In here, you might want to include a list of the sites that you're going to see. This might be important for someone who's doing a tour of Barcelona and Paris, and it is important to them whether or not they're going to see some of those major sites. But otherwise, this highlight section should really be about some of the tangible benefits of this tour. So if it's a Zodiac tour, you want to call out the fact that you're going to be able to be out in the fresh air, away from the crowds, and see a city like Vancouver from a brand new perspective. That's a type of highlight that's a lot more convincing than just necessarily listing some of the buildings that you're going to see. Let's quickly look at some of those OTAs, those online travel agents reselling tours, because they're optimizing the heck out of these pages. So if we scroll down, we see very close to the top here, the highlights, full description includes not suitable for and a meeting point. Also with a link to open in Google Maps. Over here in TripAdvisor, this is a New York in 1-day guided sightseeing tour. You see right here, a tour snapshot, the duration of the tour, the group size of the tour, is it stroller accessible, the ticket types, etc. Here's tours around Michigan with experience details. You'll see here, price, departure time, meeting point, availability, duration, group size, what's included, what's not included. This is a great at-a-glance section that quickly gives people the information. What I don't love about this particular example is that it's far too spaced out. We want this to be as condensed as possible. Let's have a look at our Granite Falls tour. With this coaching member, we optimized their tour details or at a glance section. You'll see here we set up 2 columns so this information could be quickly digested with big bold headings that let people know the duration, what's included, what's not included, max group size, and ages. We also really like the downtown Asheville electric bike tour implementation of this tour snapshot. They call it Quick Details. The title doesn't really matter that much, but I like this gray call-out box, which essentially makes it a little stand-alone section of the website. Here we can see the ages, duration of the tour, what to expect, pickup, drop-off, the distance covered, and some of the highlights. This is a great job on an at-a-glance section. So you'll notice that this section is above your tour description, where you might have a paragraph describing your tour or some of the features and benefits, and that is done intentionally. Let's put on our guest-focused hat for a moment. When I'm a visitor to a tour page, some of the essential information that I need to know is what type of tour this is, when it's taking place, the price, etc. Until I have that information, I'm not interested in the features and benefits. If I'm only looking for a private tour and I have to read through your entire page just to find out whether this is a private or public tour or a small group tour or a large group tour, that is a very frustrating experience. The great news is that this is an exceptionally easy part of your tour description page to fill out. You probably have this information at your fingertips. So let's make sure it's at the fingertips of your potential customers as well. The next important section of your tour description page is reasons to act now. Our coaching team sees over and over, as we look out across hundreds, if not thousands, of tour and activity pages, we do not see urgency or scarcity or reasons why your customers should make a booking today and not wait for tomorrow. There's an old adage in the sales community that delay is the death of the sale. They're on your website, they're on your tour description page. We want them to book right now. We don't want them to go and research competitors. We don't want them to go get lost in Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, or even a couple days later, they may just totally forget. We have got them here, we have got them now, we've got to give them some reasons to act now. Now, most tour operators will think of promotions or discounts as a way to create that scarcity and urgency. But we're going to blow your mind a little bit and remind you that all tours and activities have inbuilt urgency and scarcity. We just have to do a better job of calling it out to our potential customers. For example, you only have a certain number of seats on your bus. Maybe you have tours at different times of day, and once that tour fills up, that time slot is simply not available anymore. Maybe you regularly sell out on weekends during your peak season. All of these are reasons for someone to act now, to make a booking or reservation today so they're not disappointed in the future. Let's have a look at how some companies are calling this out in really effective ways. One of the tour business coaches on our team is John Laverne from Bulldog Tours. What I love is right underneath their Buy Tickets button, here on the right side of the page, they've indicated some reasons to act now. It says, "We happily accept walk-up participants, but please note space is limited. Tours often sell out, so without a reservation, we may not be able to accommodate your party." This is a great reason to act now, and it's a reminder that there are potential costs to them leaving this page without booking today. Let's have a look at the Granite Falls Boat Tour. This is one of our coaching members. Notice right here under our At a Glance section, we have a call out. It has a gray background. We called it out with the word important at top, and it says, "While we do accept walk-up participants, our tours and rentals regularly sell out. To get your preferred choice and to avoid missing out, we highly recommend booking as soon as possible." Notice over here on the right side of the page, we added it again. This is just by the Book Now button. Please note, this tour regularly sells out, ... We highly recommend booking as soon as possible to avoid missing out. We are calling out the fact that you may miss out on this tour. Let's have a look at how Fat Tire Tours does this. If we scroll down and just under their availability calendar, they have some text that is in yellow. I do not recommend yellow text. I would change this very quickly. But it says, if you have flexibility with your travel dates, we encourage you to click around the calendar to find the lowest price. Should you wish to book last minute for a day with limited availability, the price may be higher. They're simply calling out that we have dynamic pricing. On the weekends, it may be more expensive. If you're trying to book last minute, our prices may go up. That's a great reason to act now. Let's pop over to our friends in Asheville. Here, what I love is their booking software is actually providing some of this urgency and scarcity. Here's their availability calendar, which says real-time availability. And then down here, I've selected a date and it shows me for their 9:30 tour, there's only 3 seats left. This is fantastic scarcity and urgency and reasons to act now. You'll recognize these tactics from other e-commerce platforms like Amazon that is always coming up with ways for you to book now because you might miss out. Here's one more from Viator, a reseller of tours and activities. Look right here at the top next to their check availability. We have a likely to sell out badge that's called out in that distinctive maroon color. Based on our booking data and information from the provider from the past 30 days, this experience is likely to sell out through Viator. Holy cow, could you put a likely to sell out button or call out there? On your tour page? You bet you could. And let's look at one last example from one of our coaching members. We came up with this text for their tour description pages. Important. Unlike many hop-on, hop-off services, we have limited seating aboard our trolleys. We regularly sell out of our most popular tours, so we highly recommend you book as soon as possible. This is the best way to get your preferred time slot and avoid being disappointed at a later date. So, does your tour description page have reasons to act now? If you're like most tour business owners, it doesn't. And that's something we want to fix as soon as possible. Why? Because you are losing sales. It is costing you every single day to not include authentic scarcity and urgency in your offer. What about some other best practices? Well, if you are doing promotions or have coupon codes for holidays, be sure to call that out in a prominent way. If I'm on your tour description page, have a banner overlay the page that has a countdown timer for when your Mother's Day specials ends. That way, that countdown timer is reminding visitors to that page, hey, this is a limited time offer. If you do things like dynamic pricing, which in our coaching program we recommend you do, which simply means charging more during your busier times when demand is higher, like on the weekends or during your peak season. So you could let people know, hey, you could save 15% by booking Monday through Thursday. This offer is first come, first served with limited availability. That's a great way to call out a special opportunity that people have, even though there's no expiry date. So the shiny new at a glance section and some prominently featured reasons to act now, your sales are going to continue to increase, but we are not done yet. If you'd like a copy of our Irresistible Tour Descriptions workbook, we'll hook you up with one free of charge. Head over to guestfocus.com/tour descriptions. If you found value in this particular video, share it with a friend, colleague, or fellow tour business owner. It would really mean a lot to me. If you're catching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below, subscribe and ring that notification bell. These are all indicators to YouTube that this channel is worth growing. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next video.